All right, guys, let's go. It's grand final time. We've got Neeb blocking Dark Hatchery. Dark, whoa, sorry, guys, bad observing. Dark representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming here. He's going to have to take his third base at the front here on Moondance. His opponent, Neeb, representing Onside Gaming. And that is interesting. So a lot of players just do not want to take this base in the back, even though it's so easy to defend, because you only have 1 gas and 6 minerals. So 3/4 of the minerals and half the gas of a normal base. And yeah, I guess Dark's just going to take these bases out the front. Now look at this, guys. Great harassment by Neeb, and Dark did manage to micro his workers back into position, but I feel like Neeb is definitely doing a little bit better on the micro. It is the US West server. Neeb agreed to let this be played on US West, even though this is the grand finals of the North American Weekly Cup 134, which means basically the default server is Central US, which would massively favor Neeb since he's closer to Central than he is to West, and it's way further away for Dark to connect to from Korea. But Neeb, being the good guy that he is, said, no, I'm still going to have a big ping advantage playing US West. I'm happy to play with 80 ping versus you're probably 140. And no doubt that is what you do. Most players don't actually let the other person take any advantage. But Neeb's a good dude, so he chooses to do that. Got the second gas out there. This probe's still occupying that mineral patch for a long time. Really messing up Dark's mining. I mean, he's really fixed his efficiency for the most part in the early game. But like, he needs to fix these drones up right now. Make sure. There we go. Okay, it looks like they did double back up on their own. So he does get a little bit lucky there. And we've got Adept into Warp Gate. Ooh, Neeb's going to take a third base pre-tech. So I'm actually, part of me wonders, wouldn't it be cool if Neeb didn't even take a second gas? Oh, he does go Stargate, but it's Stargate after Warp Gate, so he's pretending like it's a Twilight build. Ah, and you know why, guys? Because he's doing a very economic opening, chronoing both Nexi here, and he's actually just going to stay at home because he knows that Dark leaves his Overlord there. Dark doesn't go overspeed or anything like that. Now the Lings poke in, trying to see if, but he's like, nah, my Overlord hasn't seen the Adept arrive in the middle of the map, so I know that Adept's at home. I'm not going to get by her. Dark just takes the third base and goes back on to droning. He's got a third queen building down here. This one immediately spreading a tumor to the left, and he'll get another tumor forwards. And the Adept is now going to move forwards as the Stalker comes out, and that's not going to be able to kill the Overlord. Overlord could easily veer north if it wants to, and Neeb actually gets back in the wall. He's making sure no Zerglings get out. He wants to try and sneak these Oracles across the map, get some surprise damage. Dark's only on 26 workers, 27. He's building a lot of Queens right now, and he's even building a Spore at 330 in the main, so Dark is playing super safe. I feel like Dark plays like this, even if you show the Warp Gate research. I mean, this really does look like a Twilight Council opening, just from what's been seen so far, but ooh, okay, Stalker at the wall, Neeb, careful. Oh my god, if that got surrounded, that'd be a big bummer. Takes the third base in the back as well. Now the Overlord, very slow to rotate back here. Yeah, actually, if I was Dark, I would not want that Spore. I'd be way worried about this third having started at like 2 minutes 30. So Dark, I mean, Dark's interesting. What he's worried about and the meta that he's worried about is, I think, very different to what Neeb's been facing on the ladder in practice. Now these Adepts, more than a match for 8 Zerglings if they're microed well, which they are so far by Neeb, gets one of those. Overlord does poke in, sees the third, pulls back. Now these Adepts are trying to poke a hole in the vision of Dark. Dark does not see these Oracles coming. He does have a Spore moving down to the natural though. Oh, that's very, very well timed. So he should be well set up. Now there are still 3 drones that'll easily get gunned down. There's only 1 Queen there, but actually he only gets 1 of them. Adepts do start to focus down. Oh, the Queen's pulled out of position, man. Now the Oracles are going to get out of there, and they do save their lives. 5 drones, not bad. Does lose 2 Adepts, but a little bit of mining time as well. So that's actually pretty fantastic. Double Forge? Oh my god, guys, this is 2 Oracles into Blink, super early 5-minute double Forge. And he's just going to try and take a 4th at the front, but I don't know if he'll be able to defend the onslaught from Dark. I mean, Dark's economy sucks. Oh my god, guys, Dark just lost 6 more drones. Dark's on 35 drones at 5 minutes 13. And he's building roaches. He's going all in. Oh, this could work. He's just going to go all in, but Neeb's building shield batteries. Yeah, okay. That's very important. He'll need another pylon as well, which, oh, that is a pylon. So 1 shield battery. He's got 4 more gateways coming up. So he's going to have 6 gate Stalker. Queens are now walking forwards, but they're going to take a while to get here. It's going to be 6 Ravagers, Mass Zergling for Stalker Sentry. If Neeb can wall off with a bit of a back off wall, that'd be great too. Or just extra batteries, that works. He's actually going up to 8 gateways now. Oh my lord, guys. That's going to be amazing production. If Neeb can survive for just one more minute, I think he holds. And it feels like this is such a slow attack for Dark. He's got like 7 queens. I mean, yeah, the oracles can't do much here, but do they need to? One of the oracles has gone down. Biles there landing on that, but the Stalkers are already doing some damage to these units. The Queen Transfuses are not going to be part of this because, well, guess what? There's no creep. He can't transfuse off creep. Cybercore is being rebuilt in the back, so that's going to be very effective. But he's already got 10 Stalkers out, and he can make Zealots. I don't think Zealots are bad to make here. Adepts, anything to just fight against this. And, I mean, this feels like an absolutely doomed all-in. Dark's been speedrunning the tournament today, remember, guys. He's been doing a lot of all-ins, and they're not like the most optimal ones. They're just kind of like, I just want to get this over with. I want to kill you guys. It's been working because he's been outclassing his opponents, but Neeb is like, are you for real, man? Come on, like, he is crushing this attack. Neeb is tearing it apart right now. Battery overcharge might be gone, but I mean, he's got so many Stalkers. Yes, the Zealots march forward and kind of take a bad angle there. Stasis Trap does get focused down, so good micro for Dark, but dude, it's equal army supply. And you've still got shield batteries here. Dark is being completely held. Neeb taking the safe third in the back, a very good move. Dark's all in, not finding the mark. All right. That was a rough game one. We're going to Data C now. This is Dark. He's going to be going up against Neeb, moving down there for that low ground gateway. That was a pretty smooth D. I think Neeb didn't even start his upgrades, right, guys? I'm not 100% sure. You guys let me know in the chat if anyone caught that. But I'm pretty sure he realized what was happening and was like, oh yeah, just make Stalker Sentry Battery. Upgrades are the last thing that's needed. Against that sort of all-in, defending a choke point, it's a bit nasty. I think Dark way overbuilt Queens. So for that sort of build, I really feel that most players don't build a Void Ray. They just build 2, at most 3 Oracles. I think even just 3 or at most 4 Queens walking across the map is all you need. So I see a lot of Zergs over-pulling Queens for big attacks these days. And I get maybe you want more Queens to kind of shut down the Oracle harass, deny the scouting early. But I think maybe it was the overdoing it a little bit on the Queens. A bit faster on the Road Ravagerling would have been good. And Dark, I mean, he's been doing so many all-ins lately, just throwing out really aggressive plays, trying to take the fight to his opponents. Neeb, though, is known for his defense. He loves being the defender. And if he can just get a bit of a lead, he does run away with the games. Probe here just hanging out. Once again, bounces one of Dark's drones away. So you see that? Very annoying. And he bounces the drone completely off this patch. So that's not being mined from at all. Oh, Neeb is so annoying. Look at the way he micros on that patch. Outclassing Dark with the micro at the start. I've criticized Dark in the past for not being good on that micro. And this is a return to that form for Dark. Where you'll notice now he has 3 workers on this patch and only 1 worker here and here. Super sloppy. This is 3 workers on these 2 patches. His mining's completely messed up and he's not fixing it at all. So this is Dark's, lack of attention to detail in the early game. Something that's been, I would say, making his life very difficult for a long time. It's something where if he was in a team house, there is no way a coach would stand for this level of laziness on his opening. But Dark has got very lazy openings. They're very unoptimized. He's got great killer instinct and he doesn't seem to give a shit if he's a bit behind at the start. He's going to go straight creep tumor again. And Ling Speed not starting, man. Has he forgotten it? Okay. Maybe just feeling like he can get away with delaying it since Neeb's been quite defensive. But, oh my god, he's building... I think he thinks he started Ling Speed. Dark here. I talk about how sloppy Dark is, even in big tournaments. But here in these weekly cups, sometimes... He literally needs to lose a game or 2 before he gets angry and really shows up. And right now he's completely forgotten Ling Speed. This is a huge mistake for him. He's actually getting a very good amount of drone queen production because he has more money than usual. So he's probably like, man, my droning is really good this game. Feels like a really smooth opening until he realizes he forgot Ling Speed. And then he'll be like, oh, damn. And the Adept does get cancelled. We've got a Spore in the natural. Nothing in the main, though. That's odd. Normally you build a Spore in the main. Interesting. Dark does realize, starts up his Ling Speed here at 3 minutes 40. So we'll have Ling Speed finishing about 5 minutes. And Neeb goes straight into a 3rd base. 1 Oracle is out, 2nd Oracle on the way. I think he went straight Warp Gate 1 more time. So I think game 3, Neeb is going to go for a Twilight build, probably an Adept Rush. Because right now, Dark has no vision of whether this is Stargate or not, and yet he's just playing blindly as if it's Stargate. He'd be so screwed if this was Glaive Adept. Because he's only going to have Queens and Zerglings. I mean, that's going to be so... if someone goes for, a good 5-gate Adept, 4-gate Adept, you're going to be screwed. So I really feel like Dark's opening is incredibly sloppy, unless he's got some tiny tell, which means he's aware of what's happening that I'm not picking up on, which there's always that case. It happens. You know, we don't get to see inside the players' minds, and we're not watching from their camera either. Ooh, 3 kills, but almost loses an Oracle. Good defense for Dark. Dark Sling comes in, sees the third's almost finished. Protoss is up 6 workers right now. Blink's on the way. Very slow gateway explosion. Only now going to 4 gateways. So that's kind of risky versus Dark. He's going to 6, 7 gates now. No forge yet. Okay. A lot of people really prioritize those upgrades with this mass gateway style off the quick third. Lair starts up. And an Evo chamber. Dark, though, droning very, very hard. He's going up to 60 workers and beyond. He's also got just 1, 2, 3 tumors, but they're covering the most important parts. Stalkers are going to pick off this. If he gets one back inside the wall... Oh. Okay, should be able to kill it. Overlord does go down there. And, guys, I think this is a blink all in. Neeb is going to stop probing very soon. I think these are his last couple of probes. He's going for a huge 3-base blink timing. Ah, man, that is 8 gateway blink, no +1, no forge, nothing like that. And Dark's on 62 workers. If he makes nothing but Roaches, Ravagers, Zerglings now, he might be okay. I mean, Neeb's not being very secretive about this. He's just like, that's it. I'm just building the pylon here, and we're just going for it. He's warping in Stalkers at home, marching forward, trying to clear the creep. He's got plenty of Revelation energy to do that, and he's going to be able to do it quite well. Does want to focus that tumor. Doesn't quite do it. There we go. And he can start fighting the queens. One of the queens does do a bit of a poo there. For those who don't know, creep tumors are self-replicating poo-poo. That is actually the science. The adept there is going to be shading backwards. Good micro for Neeb. Neeb's got to pull these stalkers back now, though. He's got to be wary. The adept does shade behind the wall. Third base has 2 adepts in it, plus a shield battery. So it should be solid, especially with the oracles helping out. That gets deflected. Ling Roach Queen starting to gather up their numbers. Neeb's still going to try and just win here by just cascading over the top. Dark! Massive supply block on 106. He's going to go for a giant Ling backstab. But adept in the wall with his shield battery going up behind it. 2 adepts there. That shield battery in the wall is not done yet, though. Neeb's got to make sure that battery does not get killed. Stalkers on the front doing some good damage. The Lings are going to come in as a wraparound behind this, but he's already having his front line crumbling there. And the Oracles will be here. He's lost all of his queens. Dark, way too slow on that flank. The Oracles are going to turn that on. Drones are fighting right now. Oracles are tearing apart those Zerglings that have just been A-moved from behind. Super lazy play by Dark. And Dark, he is destroyed. That is not enough Zerglings anymore. The Lings going to try and come in, but look at that. Just blinks into the mineral line. And Neeb, a decisive timing attack, taking advantage of Dark's incredibly sloppy play here. Don't get me wrong, he's playing half decent, but there are mistakes popping up. And it's the same thing that we see as Neeb. He shows up with perfectly planned builds in these tournaments. He's so solid at planning out and playing a best of 5 off the fly. And these Roaches are actually going to kill a lot of these Stalkers, but that's only because the Reinforce isn't here. Those 8 more Stalkers reinforce in. They blink forward. Is Neeb going to 3-0 Dark? Dark needs to wake the heck up, get angry, and dial up his player notch. All right, well, it's time to wake up, man. He's getting slapped around in this series. He's down 0-2. He's got to step it up a notch. He's got to fight back. I want at least a 4-game series. Come on, mate. Show us what you got. This is Dark in the bottom left side of the map. Neeb in the top right. And Neeb is going to try and block his expansion. Looks like he should be able to get that. Dark, of course, expecting this, is already heading out. Sees the probe and just continues onwards to the third base. Now, this third base is not too bad. Because there's these rocks here, they can't really get adepts in on it too quickly. I still much prefer the other third base, but to each his own. So hatchery first goes down. I think that was pretty much on time, right? 8 seconds, 51 seconds. So it could have been slightly earlier, but not too bad, especially for Dark. Dark is microing versus Neeb. Now, in this scenario, I think because of the ping advantage, as Dark, you just need to attack that probe with a drone. I really think that's the better way of doing it when you're at the ping disadvantage like this, because you can see that Neeb can kind of just win the duels, right? He keeps popping his drones off and they're all running around. See, so this is causing drones to run around. If you track this, anytime he bounces a drone off a patch, if Dark doesn't fix it up straight away, it can really mess him up. Let's see if Dark fixes that up for this game. Pulls those 2 guys onto gas, pulls the third one onto gas. Not too bad for him. Okay, he's doing a much better job, Dark is, of keeping his workers where they need to be. And look, okay, oh, very well done there. Very well done by Dark. So there we go. Neeb's not getting the same disruption as he did last game. And remember, the reason why it was such a big disruption is that Dark ended up with all of his workers kind of screwed up. Now, this guy did just go walkabout, so That's, and another one just went walkabout. Okay, yeah. Neeb is messing his mining up a little bit. Very well done. Good opening for Neeb. He's gone Nexus into Cybercore, really standard build behind it, which is why we're not really talking about it. And now that he knows Lings are on the way, he does just look at home, instantly chronoing up his probes. Adept starts up, and he's not even going to bother faking Warp Gate this time. He's like, dude, even when I fake Warp Gate, you're prepared for the Oracles. So I'm just going to skip Warp Gate, get my Stargate a good 10 seconds earlier. Not a bad way to play it. So interesting, we had someone talking about how if they select their workers, they see orders come out on the minerals. You're just seeing the orders they already have. It's just telling you what your selected unit has an order on, guys. So if you select a mineral line, you can see all those drones have orders to mine those minerals. Oh, here we go. Oh, damn, Neeb already grabbing a drone. Little sloppy from Dark, going out into the mid ground as well to fight with the Zerglings, which means this Adept could potentially just dive in here. She's only got 45 shields, so the Queen will stop her, but could force a Spore Trick or two, so not too bad. Does shade back to safety. Pretty conservative play. Neeb's going Void Ray. Whoa, that's a change up. What is this build? Void Ray first. Well, there's two Overlords on his side of the map, aren't there? That Overlord quickly, he sees the Void Ray coming and is like, shit, hide. So this Overlord, he's clicked it right up in the very top left corner. Okay, this is going to be fascinating. What do you do with the Void Ray? I assume Neeb's still going to play a 3-base opening. Oh, look at that, guys. He's scouting for the Overlord. So now his Void Ray knows exactly where to go. And look at that. He's queued this guy to go up to the very top left corner of the map now as well. That Void Ray will hunt down that Overlord. And that's also going to secure the 3rd base. Which, by the way, Dark doesn't know about just yet. But this Zergling is going to come in. Dark is down 7 workers. That's not too abnormal for this stage of the map. But he's got to build a lot of Overlords. He's about to get supply blocked. Another Overlord does get sniped down. Dark is building an extra one. He's going to need to build a few more on top of that, though. We've got first Spore Crawler now building in the main. He's assuming there's Oracles coming out behind it, so he's delayed that Spore. He's also got to get Queens on his natural as well as his 3rd, which he seems to be doing a pretty good job of. Oracle will come in. There are some drones in the open. He grabs 1 Tumor, make it 2. Very nice. That's 50 Queen energy gone. So that does slow down Dark. I wouldn't be surprised if Dark respreads those pretty much immediately. Behind this, we've got Twilight Council into 2 gateways, so it's a Void Ray into what appears to be a very similar style. He just was like, you know what? I just want to kill those Overlords. And the Void Ray is just a very good defensive unit. Use it to keep denying your vision for later on in the game. Evo Chamber is on the way. I expect melee on that, but who knows? Dark's been playing a lot of range upgrades. He's on full 3-base mineral saturation, now taking a second gas. It's a little slow to be going for a quick melee, but he does start it up. And oh, good Spore placement, good Queen placement. Despite that, Neeb slides in and slides out and somehow gets 6 worker kills. Delicious micro by him. Okay, what do we got here? Forge is on the way. We've got more gateways as well. 4 gateway, Forge, Blink. Okay. For me, I see the Void Ray and I'm like, oh man, he's doing something different, but he's really not. Void Ray is just a consistent damage unit. 1, 2. Oh, Oracles take a lot of damage, but 2 more worker kills. It's stacking up, man. And this is a perfect game for Neeb so far. He's killed 15 units, 700 resource value. He's pushing forward with a fake. This is not a real push. Not this time. He's just going to try and revelate the creep. He doesn't quite have the energy. He just wants to clear the creep. He sees some queens there as well. You're going to see he's going to revelate it. He's just... There we go. 25 energy. And, okay, no, he's moving around the right side. Trying to deny the 4th base. He's like scaring Dark, who's now going Baneling Nest and +1 melee. No Roach Warren? Oh, this is a crazy gambly style from Dark. He's just doing nothing but Zerglings. Okay, wow. Only 54 drones, though. He's learnt from Scarlet's 50-50 build, I think. And Oracles turn on their lasers, but they don't have enough energy. So Neeb will lose this fight. He's going to lose all these Stalkers. The Void Ray and the Oracle make it expensive, though. Oh, yeah. He does actually keep some Stalkers alive, or at least for a moment. Void Ray will get a few more kills there. Okay, overall, units lost tab is not too bad there. 28 Zerglings go down for 4 Stalkers in the depth. It's not the end of the world for a Neeb that's already up 9 workers. And he's got his +1 on the way, so he does have a Forge this time. He's up on 5, 6, 7, 8 gateways. If he can move out and get a 4th up, he'll be looking splendid. Lair only now starting. Oh my god. Dark, that Lair is so late. Oh, he's trying to do like a Ling Bane attack right now. He's trying to do like a random-ass Ling Bane attack. He's going to try and roll Banes into the 3rd. Stalkers are warping in from there. These Lings on the right are kind of distracting, right? The Void Ray is such a good choice here, but Neeb, oh, he wasn't on A move. Uh-oh. 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 Oh, Baneling's on the left. Baneling's on the left coming in. Does Neeb see it? Uh-oh. Yes, he does. As long as he spreads these probes, he should be fine, guys. He loses a few Stalkers over at the third, but I think he's okay. Great blink. He blocks all of that. He's lost 9 Stalkers, but 51 Zerglings, 6 Banelings. These are still good trades for him. And remember, this is incredibly lava intensive for Dark. His 4th base just got up. Where's his 5th hatchery? He does have a macro hatch coming up in the main, which will help him out. He's going range upgrades. He's so low on workers. He's now trying to go +2 melee, +1 range, roach speed, but off just 60 drones up against 64 probes and a 4th on the way for the Protoss player. Neeb's pushing back the creep. There is still a schlong on the left side of the map, a bit of a creep schlong there. Oracles and the blink are going to push back these Zerglings, but they activate the Oracle lasers. And remember, the Oracles are very low on energy. Quick to turn it off though. Oh, Neeb. He just walled himself out. Neeb's got to be careful there. He just walled these Stalkers in the middle of the map. He's got to be... Yeah, I would cancel one of those and then rebuild it, mate. I think. Okay, or he just blinks across, leaves 1 Stalker behind though. And he might even break these rocks and then just be like, okay, all these sides are walled off. Push the right side of the map. +2 attacks on the way. We've got charge finished. It is still just 8 Gate Zealot Stalker. The 4th has not really been used for anything just yet. I wouldn't mind seeing Neeb go for a really beautiful, like, Archon transition. Get the 6 gases up, go for Archons, but it looks like he just wants to push the right with Stalker Oracle and this Void Ray. And do a big Zealot Warping in the main. And indeed, there we go. Big Zealot Warping in the main. Roach speed is not quite done. Zealot's running in the third as well. Zealot's in the main and the third, and the Stalkers are shoving in. He realizes he needs to pull Dark's attention here to allow those Zealots to do the damage. The drones are getting slaughtered behind this. The Stalkers blinking back. Those Zealots will go down to the Queens. Nice transfuses, but already 14 drones have fallen. The Stalkers withdrawing on the right side. They do pull back. And behind this, 10 more Zealots warped into the main base. He doesn't have enough to deal with it. There's still Zealots denying mining on that third. The Stalkers and the Void Ray over on this base are just really making their weight worth it in gold. The Void Ray needs to pull back, as do those Stalkers, but look at this, man. The Zealot's going to kill the lair, and they're killing roaches that are popping out. This is a disaster for Dark. Neeb is looking so clean, so on point with his builds, and we see Dark here just not being good enough on his openings. He just can't handle the way Neeb is opening up with these Oracles into just mass gateway aggression and pounding over him. The supply looks very close until 10 more Zealots warp in, and you really get to see the difference there. The Stalkers are even blinking forward. The Oracles can just take out the Queen. Can they, though? Their energy is gone. The Stalkers are falling. 71 probes behind this, so I feel like it's all replaceable. There's going to be more Zealots warping in on that base in a moment. The Queens might take it out, though. You've got to be careful. Roach is trying desperately to hold the ramp, but those Zealots are going to breach it. Dark is overwhelmed, outgunned, outmanned. And the Neeb taking 5 bases behind it. His +2 was about to finish, just crushing through and overwhelming. An absolute masterclass in solid openings for Neeb. Didn't have to do anything fancy to get it done here. 3-0. And he reclaims the North American Weekly Cup yet again. He says, get out of here, Koreans, Europeans. This is my land. This is America.